Hello guys, welcome to another one of my Battle Breakers videos. In this video we're going to be looking into the core stats of the game, strength, attack and defense, hero levels, and a bit of a demonstration about how these things work to hopefully allow you to make cool choices in the game. A huge thanks to everyone out there using my supported creator code LokeHansen in the Epic Game Store and in the Battle Breakers game, and for clicking my supported creator link that is down in the description to start or renew your 14-day support of my work. Remember that clicking my supported creator link or using my supported creator code means that a portion of sales goes to me. But guys, it means the world to me that you do it, even if you are completely free to play player, so thank you very much for even considering to do it. But let's dig into some of the goodies. The first thing I want to show you guys is that my level 1 Ralina has a much lower defense level than my Cuddle team leader, 2071 compared to 308, and this is basically like the rule of greed that applies to everything in this game. More is better. Having a higher level means that you're gonna have better stats just for being a higher level, disregarding everything that you get. But if I select a hero defense here, I get 3 fixed defense points and I get something 0.3% defense scaling. So this is actually gonna give Ralina 3 defense, but my Cuddle team leader 21. So my Cuddle team leader is getting a lot more for this one selection than Ralina is. Again, the rule of greed. My Cuddle team leader is much higher level, so she's getting much more out of selecting this one card that appears to do little to nothing for my level 1 hero. So as you can see just based on this here, having a high level is important because a lot of things in the Gale are going to be scaling up based on this. I'm cycling through a few different heroes here so you have different data to compare with if you are like a little bit nitty gritty about that stuff and you want to be checking out different values. But just for highlights, I have Ralina and the Cuddle team leader. So once again, I can select something, going hero defense here, getting 3 fixed defense, and getting even more for my Cuddle team leader. But if we're going to be looking into the other stat here, we have hit points. Again, you can see a huge difference between Ralina and the Cuddle team leader. Now note that these are just the values shown here and not the base stats that we're going to be looking more into later in the video. So once again, based on the same account bonuses, we can see that having a higher level gives you a lot more hit points, and we're also going to see that when I select a card that boosts up my account bonuses, meaning all my heroes, we're going to get a better benefit from having a high level hero compared to having a low level hero. So every hero that I select is going to get 10 hit points. But the 0.3% scaling is going to allow higher level heroes to get a much more benefit. So it is very important that you keep this in mind, and it really shows again here with attack that being a higher level means that you get more goodies, and that is why the promotions feature is so important, because it allows you to level up your hero more than the basic 120 or whatever you have to use in the game based on your account level and your headquarters upgrade. So here I can select attack, a 2 fixed attack rating, but I'm getting 3 points for Ralina based on the percentage bonuses as well, but 14 for the Cuddle team leader. And the attack points are super important because special abilities and basic attacks scale based on this, of course different for different heroes and different classes, which is gonna be like a subject for a completely different video. You can access your account specs in the upper left corner of the map, and here you can adjust what you have selected at a cost. If you haven't used your freebie, then I mean you get one for free based on what I've read, and then you can adjust it. But here you can nudge the selections that you have had from the monster pit and from your account level bonuses, and you can see a summary of what you have down at the bottom. Now I always planned on playing with 100 health and then moving everything else into defense and attack, but I've had some options that really forced me to select more health, and right now in the 181 update I'm happy about that because we have more that ignores defense that is hitting us. You can also inspect the different stats to see what exactly is it that they do, and the attack, for instance, one attack means dealing 1 damage, so that's pretty simple. And of course, when it comes to the real nitty-gritty stuff, we have like so much more to work with, but the basic concept is that attack means damage. If we look at the Cuddle team leader here, it has a 283% stat affinity, and we have some basic attacks and modifiers. These are from the selected cards. Now the stat affinity is important because it gives you an idea about how much this particular hero is going to boost up when you level them up. How important is attack for them? 142% is much less than we had before. Here we have more than 250%. So the higher the stat affinity, the higher value of attack or health you can expect the hero to get as you level them up. It's just an indication of like how important is this stat for this hero, how high is the value going to be. It doesn't actually mean how much damage will it do, because that depends on a lot of other factors, such as what abilities you use. But if we compare some of my level 150 heroes here, you can see their stat affinity number, and you can see the amount of attack points that they have. Just like these are the base numbers, so it is not affected by equipment or other bonuses. It should give you an idea about how important is the stat affinity number, what exactly does it show, and how does that affect the base value of, for instance, your attack. Now the defense point is very different because it reduces the amount of damage you take by 1 unless you have defense ignoring options. But the defense works very differently in regards to how heroes get it, and it's also written here that having good defense means good survivability, and you can see when you inspect the hero, it is a direct damage reduction. So when you inspect the heroes, you can see how much damage is going to be removed from any attack that doesn't ignore defense. The hit points is pretty obvious. This is the amount of life your hero has. If it reaches 0, your hero dies, and once again we have a stat affinity, a number that allows you to see how much this stat is going to scale when you level up your heroes. And like, it is not that important in my opinion compared to the defense and the attack, but I'm a bit of a glass cannon kind of player. What I want to show you guys now is how things move when we level up a hero, such as my level 1 Flameslinger Val here. She starts out level 1 with 47 base hit points, 16 attack and 620 defense. So these are the values she has, and you can see the stat affinities in here to give you guys an idea about how things are going to be moving up. And I am going to be leveling her up now so that you can see how the leveling system actually works. And it is like the TLDR stuff, more is better. So leveling it up once gives 3 additional hit points, 1 additional attack and 2 additional defense. Now I'm looking at the base number here so that we like disregard any like other bonuses that may be in effect. This is just based on the leveling. Level 3 gives us 4 hit points, 2 attack and 2 defense, so a larger increase than what we got when we went from level 1 to level 2. So we're gaining more than we did before, both in terms of hit points and attack, so we're getting even stronger by getting this level than the previous one. Moving from level 3 to level 4 is less of an increase. We're getting pretty much the same on the attack and on the health, but we're getting a little bit more defense than what we got before. So once again, it is an even better deal to level up this time than it was before. And now things start to get a little bit more interesting. As you can see, we only gained 1 attack this time, meaning that it is actually not as good a deal to gain level 5 compared to level 4. But this changes as we move forward, with a tendency towards everything getting better. But the stat affinity number is not a fixed number, meaning that sometimes you will get a slight increase and sometimes you will get a slight decrease, or you will be standing by depending on whether it is rounding up or rounding down things. So what you can see here, anyway, what I'm trying to show is that getting a new level always gets better. So getting level 8 is more important when you are level 7 than getting level 1. Of course, we have some diminishing returns in that your total health or total attack is stronger, but it is important to note that getting more always gives you more. Like as a thumb rule, And of course, different heroes with different stat affinities are going to have different numbers, which is why I just selected one here for demonstration so that we could go through like the progression. Now, if I boost up my hero to the max level, what we can see is that on average we're getting 31.4 hit points per level and 10.5 attack per level and 24.4 per level, which is a lot more than what you could see for the first levels. And this really demonstrates that what you get at the end of the leveling is far stronger, much higher numbers than what you get at the start of the spectrum. So getting one more level is crazy important. Once we start looking at the soft cap and the levels above that, so promoted heroes above level 120, we can see that we're getting 60 hit points from moving from level 120 to 121. In fact, all of the numbers that we're getting now are much higher than they were before, just again illustrating that you get a lot more later in the game than you did at the start of the game. And keep in mind, guys, that what I'm showing you here are the base numbers. So this is before any bonuses and adjustments that are made to the numbers. So the final health of my hero is of course a lot more than the 3,885 or 946 shown here. These are the values before any multipliers, even before the percentage bonus of getting the cards that we select every single level. So anyway, guys, this was a bit of a demonstration about how the different core stats work in the game, how they work in relation to leveling up your heroes. And I hope it's going to allow you to select the cards or the options that you get when you level up your account or your monster pit to tweak your account and your gaming towards what it is you want, and at least to possibly better understand how the mechanics of the game are. Personally, I'm focusing much more on attack and defense than on health, but that is also just how my playstyle is. I'm a bit of a glass cannon. Anyway, guys, that was what I had to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, thank you very much for using or considering to use my supported creator code LokeHansen in the Epic Games Store in the Battle Breakers game, and for using my supported creator link to renew or start your 14-day support of my work. Remember that a portion of sales goes to me when using my supported creator code or link. For now, guys, thank you very much and very much for watching.